First question, as per usual, Anthony, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Thank you for asking.
Of course, this weekend, the boxing world was turned on its head again. You've been there before. What was your first reaction when you were informed about Dillian's adverse findings?
Things happen, and then I just looked at what my team were going to present me. Two options: are we going to continue, or are we going to cancel?
And there'll be fans, there'll be boxers, there'll be anyone that's interested in the story, just wondering why was it important for you to make sure that Saturday went ahead?
Well, two reasons for me. I think I have an obligation because of the undercard. They put a lot of time invested in their training camps and so on and so forth, and they put their life into it. I've become a champion, so I've gone along the route where I've generated funds where I can afford to take a loss, where some of these guys that are up and coming can't afford to take a loss. So I thought I got an obligation for the show to continue. And then secondly, obviously people that have travelled, I know people that are travelling from America, because the fight with myself and Dillian was going to be one that it caught the public's attention. So I didn't want to let people down that have travelled far and wide, that have booked hotels and travelled, etc. So yeah, that were my two reasons why I wanted it to go ahead. So.
And of course, you trained for Dillian Whyte. You're now fighting Robert Helenius, two people who look completely different.
Correct,
their styles are completely different. How's that impacted this last week of your training?
So just have to flip the coin and take a different approach and different perspective. Just research, just start doing more research. And that's about it really. But yes, obviously I really understood Dillian, like through and through. And now I just have to speed up the process with Robert Helenius and what I know about him.
As I said, you've been here before when you were supposed to fight Jarrell Miller. He failed a drug test. In terms of the sport of boxing, there's someone who puts their life on the line each time they walk into the ring, knowing that potentially one of your opponents may be trying to find an advantage, sorry. How does that impact you as a father, knowing there's more to your life than just winning fights?
Yeah, I wouldn't let my son fight. I wouldn't want him to, actually. I'm not going to say I wouldn't let him, because I do want him to be free. But at the same time, I wouldn't advise him to. It's a tough business. I don't think, I don't know actually, but I'd assume that some of these guys, they don't do it knowingly. I hope not. But mistakes happen, and I'm not here to judge Dillian, but what he's done is wrong, and that's why we have these governing bodies in place to catch cheats, people that cheat and try and take short corners.
And as someone who's never failed a drug test yourself, knowing that the sport that you love is tarnished by people who do fail drug tests, and I know you love boxing, how does that make you feel?
Boxing's got a lot of potential. I call it the sleeping giant. There's just a few things that are holding us back from growing as a sport, because if you look at it from a perspective of big investors, blue chip companies that want to invest in the sport of boxing, for example, they invested, for example, hundreds of thousands or millions into this fight with Dillian, and then he pulls out last minute due to a failed drug test. It's not a good look for someone that's put a lot of time and effort into investing, marketing around this fight. So it's got a lot of potential, but we just need to clean up some of the cracks. And I think drug testing and anti-doping is one of the issues in boxing, because you know, we can point our finger at Dillian, but also we can also point our finger at many others that have failed drug tests. And we're not talking about 20 years ago, we're talking about in the last 2, 3, 4 years.
And when it comes to that side of boxing that most people don't see, do you feel like there needs to be more awareness out there? Not just the risks you're going through, the hard work you're putting in, being prize fighters, knowing that if you don't fight, you don't get paid, but also people who are willing to cheat to get that advantage.
Do I feel there needs to be more
focus on that in terms of making sure that they are exposed?
Definitely. And I feel, see, with boxing, you're not part of an institute. Whereas football, for example, you join an institution where your food's presented to you, your nutritionist is presented to you, your physio is presented to you. So you join a club or an institution where I'm going to give you everything you need to go and be your best. Where when I started boxing, I'd signed my contract, and when I left, I realized I need to find my own gym, my own nutritionist, my own physio. So I had to source a team, and I can understand how people make mistakes, because I still train at my local gym where people are paying 30 quid a month, and there might be some geezer in there that looks strong as an ox, And I'm like, oh, help me out, please. Can you help me with my nutrition? Can you help me with this? And little does he know that even though this kid's training at the local gym, he's actually a professional athlete and an ambassador of the sport of boxing. And there are, you know, things that he can and can't do. Whereas this guy in the gym can do whatever he wants. And that information that he's passing on to this athlete could ruin his career in the long run. And the athlete is the one at the end of all the news outlets and getting ridiculed, versus the guy that's still in the gym training and thinking, not my fault, I gave him my best advice, I thought I knew what I was doing. But and at the same time, us athletes have to take responsibility as well. And what I'm trying to say by that is it's more than just fighting. You have to handle your business inside the ring and also outside the ring.
If we go to inside the ring, like you said, Robert Helenius is a very last minute change. What do you expect from him on Saturday night?
I think he's going to roll the dice. So when we looked at opponents, people are requesting big income, big money, and it's like, in reality, it's not there. This is a last minute change opponent, it's not pay-per-view fight. And then when you look at someone like Helenius, who stepped up to the plate and took the offer, it's not about the money for him. He wants to win, you know. I'm taking less money. I want to fight, I want to win, I want to continue on my course. And I believe he's going to roll the dice, like I have to roll the dice. So good luck to him, and I'm happy that he took the fight, because he's also been part of this show still going on for the undercard supporters, for the supporters that are travelling. So I've got to take my hat off to him as well. And
what we do know about Robert, went the distance with Dillian. Dillian won, got knocked out in the first round by Deontay Wilder. In terms of your predictions, goals, you've got those two outcomes, completely different ones. How do you want Saturday night to go?
For me personally, I'm not so much outcome focused at the minute, I'm just performance focused. So I want to have a good performance and do a good job. And if I can do that, then whatever happens will lead me towards victory.
And how do you define that good performance?
Vision. Like, it starts off in the mind. So going in there and being free, being as good as I can be. Building on my last performance, hence why I wanted to get this fight in, because I had my fight with Franklin, and I can build on that. And yeah, the vision that I have in my mind of what a good performance is now just putting it into reality and making it all happen on Saturday.
And Eddie said, seeing you in camp, you're in the best shape of your life that he's seen you. Would you agree with that? Do you feel like at 32 years old, you're in the best shape?
I think I'm always in good shape, in relative good shape for the fighters I'm going to fight, but we just train hard all year round, ultimate professionals, work hard, give it our best. And I think from Eddie's perspective, he's come in and probably like, yeah, he's working hard. And like, he got so much going on in his life, he can't always look back to the time I was probably in better shape, for example. But what he's seen now is just a young guy working extremely hard to perform on Saturday night, and he's impressed. So yeah, he's talking it up, he's giving me the credit, giving me the props, and I hope I can go and live up to his view of what hard work is.
And how do you feel yourself though?
I feel tired, feel battered and bruised, and I feel I train hard, which means I can fight hard.
And this is both the glory that people expect, but a potential banana peel if you're not able to win. If your hand is raised, and there's very much talk of Saudi Arabia, Deontay Wilder, how important is that to you in terms of your journey, your trajectory?
I think my hand being raised is the most important thing, rather than looking at anything else. There's always a carrot that's being dangled in front of us, but it's been like that forever, and I think young athletes should always focus on what they have in front of them. Like myself, I'm a young athlete, I'm a veteran as well now, been around late replacements. This is the third time it's happened with, not in terms of drugs, but Kubrat Pulev, when I had to replace him with Carlos Takam, Jerome Miller, Andy Ruiz, and now this. I'm a veteran to a degree, but I just need to get my hand raised, get in there, do the job, and I don't need to focus on anything else except for tomorrow, because that's all I can control, is what's in front of me.
But do you want to fight Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, of course.
And after that, as I always ask you, is the plan still to be three-time heavyweight champion of the world?
Yeah, one step at a time.
And did the news about Dillian make you think about wavering from that journey in terms of time frames? I know you have a little time frame in your mind.
Not necessarily. I didn't have time to think about the Dillian Whyte situation too much, because it was such short notice. I needed to just flip the coin and focus on what else was in front of me, Robert Helenius. I think maybe on Sunday I'll be able to think about all the crazy stuff that had happened, and you know, the amazing job my team done to kind of make the show still go ahead. But in terms of the Dillian Whyte situation, I didn't think too much about it. I just flipped the coin and focused on the next opponent.
Last question. If we do go back in time, what did you learn from the last minute change against Andy and the loss that came with that last minute change that's going to help you on Saturday?
Nothing too much, because I said it's not the like I had a last minute change with Kubrat Pulev and Carlos Takam, and I won that fight, and then I lost with Andy. Things happen. I learned just stay strong, like continue to chase your goals, and never give up. Never give up, and that's why I'm here now. And from those two experiences is just keep a professional head. Don't let it get to you. Stay on point.
And your message to the fans that will be tuning in on Saturday?
Yeah, thank you so much for staying tuned to The Zone. I appreciate you guys. The Zone are putting on amazing shows consistently. This is another one. Not only my fight, the undercard. I don't think we've seen an undercard like this in a long time. So stay tuned, lock in from early. It's going to be great. It's the heavyweight hitters and myself to close the show. I'm looking forward to it, and I believe it will be exciting. I believe he's going to roll the dice. He ain't got nothing to lose. Neither have I, actually. So yes, tune in Saturday night live on The Zone.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.